guys, if you're new here, my name is Sam and I make videos about makeup, chronic illness, and whatever I want. And today I want to show you what my everyday makeup routine looks like as a chronically ill individual. So I have to say, most days I'm just completely barefaced like this because I have other things I need to do and my makeup just isn't in the energy cards for me. I can't take the energy to do it because it would take away from something more important. But when I have a lighter day of things that need to be done, this is what I'm doing. I'm not always full-faced glam like you see in a lot of my videos. I like to do something a little lighter. My summer routine's gonna look a little different than my winter routine, so I guess I should say this is my current everyday summer makeup. But I'm going to start priming my skin. This time of year, I'm not nearly as dry, so I wouldn't need this. I could use my e.l.f. primer, brain fart. But this Yummy Skin by Danessa Myricks just feels so good and makes my skin look so fantastic that this is kind of just my new permanent primer in general. I do have sunscreen and my skincare and stuff on already. My skin is so happy this time of year. I have some breakouts because some yard projects I was doing, so I was very sweaty, dirty, so sweat, sunscreen, and dirt just kind of clog some of my pores. I'm very well hydrated though. I don't know how much you can tell, but I can definitely tell. After that, I like to look really glowy, so this is a step that I do both winter and summer, especially winter because I'm dry. I go in with the Auric Glow Lust all over my face. I am going to use this as my highlighter today too. After that, I'm going to go in under my eyes. I'm going to use the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. And this time of year, it's so warm, it's already kind of like melted. In the winter, I do have to warm it up. And I'm just going to apply this under my ring finger. Just like brightens it up nicely. Sometimes I stop here and I won't use concealer under my eyes. It really just depends on how I'm feeling that day. I do want to use concealer today, so that's what we're going to do. I haven't actually worn makeup in like 2 weeks. I've just been so busy outside and I don't want to like do heavy lifting and then have a full face on. It's kind of like icky. So the foundation I'm using, I feel like I can use my summer shade right now because the camera's probably washing me out, but like I am quite tanned. Look at that. Like the back of my shoulders. Especially because I forgot to reapply sunscreen and got a little toasty. So the Smashbox Halo Healthy Glow All-in-One Tinted Moisturizer. I'm using the shade Light Olive. With this I found, if I use my hands and I warm it up too much, it is really hard to spread around and it kind of like is stiff and I have to use way more product than I want. So I use one of these little makeup tray things and I put some on there, and then I don't use a sponge for this. I go in with a foundation brush and just plop it on. I guess this still is a bit too dark for me at the moment. That's okay, we're not going anywhere. I have a lighter one, like my winter shade, so I can like mix to transition. I've noticed once this like warms up on my skin and settles in, it is less offensive, I guess is the word, because like it definitely matches my shoulder, but this part of me always takes forever to tan, mostly because when I'm outside in the sun, I have a wide brim hat on, so like this whole area and the tops of my shoulders are much better protected. I don't put a ton of this on because I don't want, I mean, it's a tinted moisturizer, so you're not getting full coverage, but I definitely want a lot of my skin peeking through, but I'm sure you could tell. This just helped even out the redness and the other colors I have going on. Now, sometimes what I will do is spot conceal. Sometimes I will do this before I put that on, but I kind of forgot. So this is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Madeleine. This made it into a favorites video. Not the brush. Because surprisingly, this just, even on my dry skin, like if my skin is dry, it doesn't make it like cakey or anything. I use a brush for this and just kind of have hair. Here. Just kind of. The little breakouts I have, just not trying to fully hide them and just make them a little less red. Next, concealer. I don't use a lot on these days. I'm going in with one of my lighter coverage concealers because I just want a little more brightness. Like this doesn't look bad at all, and this would be great, but today I just want a little extra, so I'm using the Stay Naked by Urban Decay. I don't know that they make this anymore. I don't think they do. Everyone is reformulating everything. I read a Reddit thing about why. I guess the EU has severely limited or banned an ingredient that's in a lot of these products, so everyone's kind of reformulating, which stinks. So I'll let that dry just for like a minute so I get a little more full coverage. I'm going to go in with my Gimme Brow by Benefit. This is the shade, what is shade 3. Just comb this through real quick. When it comes to my everyday makeup being chronically ill, I need it to be quick and to put on, but I also need it quick to take off because, you know, I'm limited all day on energy, but quite frequently at the end of the night, I'm ready to crash. And, you know, you have night routines, brushing your teeth, normal face washing. Sometimes, you know, you have a chronic illness, there are nights where your face does not get washed at all. But if you're wearing makeup, it's quite important to wash your face. I got a little bit there. But I need something that's not like my colorful looks where it takes a really long time to get everything off. Now I'm going to go in with my ring finger and just kind of pat this out. It just adds a little bit of brightening under here, additional to the eye corrector. You could use a brush for this or a sponge, but I don't see the point. You could also set this right now. I'm not going to set it because I'm just going for this whole dewy look. I'd rather it like crease and whatever. So as I was saying, I need this to be easy to take off. So with what I'm doing, I don't have to do any extra steps. Where when I do my elaborate looks, I have to use a special eye makeup remover and stuff to really get all the pigment off. Where this stuff just comes off easily with my face wash. There's no extra special steps. Next, I'm going to go in with the freckle pencil and kind of bring back the little freckles that I kind of hid. And after I put it on, I tap it right away so it's not as harsh looking. I don't do this every time. Depends on how much time and energy I have. I'm not a super freckly person. They come out a lot more the more I'm in the sun. But I do like to just add a little extra oomph. Bronzer. I don't contour. I've only recently started contouring, but I don't contour on days like this. I'm using NARS Laguna. This is my favorite everyday bronzer. I have a slightly deeper bronzer that I will use as my tan grows through the summer. But this is perfect in the winter for me, but it's also nice at this time of year where I started to get a tan, but I just kind of want to accentuate it. I don't want anything that looks too bronzy. Next, let's do blush. I'm using the Pat McGrath Divine Blush in Nymphette. The nice thing about these natural looks is you can kind of just do whatever you want with the blush. You can go really heavy, you can go really light. You don't really have to worry about it because your eyes aren't going to be competing. Like, this is a very light looking blusher. And then I'm going to take the extra and like pat it in through here. Or just blend that out. Take anything extra up here. Like a little sun-kissed look. I know some people don't like that, so feel free to do what you like. Now I'm going to take a little more of the Glow Lust. Just like a tiny bit. Split it between my two fingers and then just tap it through here. You can see it just really brings out like what is underneath, which I very much like because it is just making me look naturally sweaty. Like, I've just been in the sun and now I've come inside and I'm just kind of, I'll take some extra, but it's beautiful, but it definitely just kind of looks as natural as you can get with a highlighter. Now, eyeshadow. You could just totally leave this if you wanted. Some days I do. Some days I'll like put something to like lighten my eyelids, so like the tinted moisturizer or some concealer, and then set it with powder so it doesn't crease too bad. But today I'm actually going to do some eyeshadow. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nouveau palette. We're going to just go with some really natural looking makeup. I'm kind of feeling pink today, so I'm going to go with like the pinky shades, Lily and Floor. I'm going to prime with my Urban Decay eye primer. A lot of times I have been using my Auric duo for this look because I just do one matte and one shimmer. Sometimes I just do a matte. Sometimes I'll just do the shimmer. And the Auric, what are they called? Auric eye duo thing, smoke something. My memory is terrible. I've been using that, but I have not used this eyeshadow palette since I received it. And now, as always, I'm taking the NYX glitter primer. I'm going to take that light pink or coppery shimmer and just tap it all over. I'm not gonna go super thick with it. Well, it was on my finger. I'm just going to spread around so it's just kind of a light. So I'll start in the middle and then just kind of work my way out to the edges. So the most pigment is in the middle. Again, it's easier to take off when there's just less eyeshadow. I have been meaning to get myself brown mascara, but I've been trying to use up the things I have. I'm going to curl my lashes and then throw on this Revlon So Fierce Eyes Wide Open. I'm just going to do the top lashes to give it kind of just like this more open look. And then lips, one of my favorite parts. I'm very much into gloss. I'm going to go with my personal favorite lip combination. My favorite lip combination is some kind of lip liner. I'm going to use this Rare Beauty Kind Words Matter lip liner in Humble because it's like a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury. I'm sweaty. The Charlotte Tilbury Pillowtalk. I'm going to use Charlotte Tilbury Pillowtalk. I like this more, like the Rare Beauty is a dupe. Color-wise, as you can see, these are matching perfectly. But I don't like the formula of it at all. It's very dry. The Charlotte Tilbury one is much more comfortable. This is like literally my favorite lip combination right now. I do that. Looks great. And then I go over it with the Victoria Beckham Posh Gloss in Bikini. This gloss really just smooths your lips and makes them more plump. Okay, here is the final look. It's very minimal. It's very, I guess, natural looking. One thing that I always struggle with personally, and maybe you can relate, is like my under eyes are incredibly dark. So if I don't do full coverage and I do other makeup, especially eye makeup, it kind of like makes them look a little more dark. Maybe it's just me being hypercritical. Maybe it's the lighting. I'm not quite sure. Like I look a lot lighter on camera than in person. I just feel like if I do too heavy of a concealer, it makes the tinted moisturizer look kind of off because this is very sheer and under my eyes isn't. So that's why sometimes I just skip the eye makeup altogether and just kind of do a solid base and maybe some mascara, but sometimes the mascara, especially on the bottom lashes, will make those dark circles. That is my current summer everyday, well, spring summer, current everyday makeup routine as a chronically ill person. It usually doesn't take me as long as this video is, but when you're talking rather than just doing it, I would say it maybe takes me 10 to 15 minutes if I'm not rushing. If I am rushing, I might skip some steps like the freckles. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time.